Digital's general purpose specifically here. And let's see if we can grab our general purpose GPs. Do GP speed. This is going to be the undriven speed sensor, ground speed. Now they call it in their case, and again it's confusing if you're coming from another standalone system, they're saying driving wheel speed source. That's our driven wheel. The driven wheel speed source is the ground speed. It's kind of odd language here. I would rather see it called driving speed, non-driven speed, or ground speed. I think it just makes more sense. Or tag wheel, that would be another terminology I've seen in other standalones. So we're saying acceleration source, that's the most important thing. We're telling it the driving wheel speed, which is coming from the trans case, it's rear wheel drive. And then the driven wheel speed is our second speed sensor, it's our front speed sensor. And we go here to label and we'll call this front wheel speed source. In this case, I have to go and look where this is wired in. I don't know. It might be on digital 3 and that might make sense based on how the car has been wired. I have to verify that. I don't 100% know the digital input, but taking a look at this, pull-up resistor would be on because it's going to be a Hall effect sensor. And then here, the activation edge would be falling, and then the actual calibration, we have to sort that out. Again, we have that Excel spreadsheet to do that in the training course, or I simply could just drive it and vary this calibration number and actually plot the two speeds here, so driven and driving, and then manipulate the numbers here. So we have to actually pick one or the other. Let's just real quickly here. I would pick my OEM speed sensor to be the calibrated speed. So on the dyno here, I can look at the speed, I can calibrate it, or I can use a GPS device driving off the dyno if you don't have a dyno. You're gonna move the calibration number so that your speed for your channel here, designated as driving speed, that's our speed source, we're gonna be changing the calibration number. So what we see in the driving speed matches the GPS device or the dyno. Once we have that calibrated, then you'll use that as the basis to calibrate the other wheel speed sensor, other speed source, which would be the front wheel speed in this case. So I'd move my calibration number around to match that. Really nothing to it more than that. I can't do that again being stationary, but we need both of these to function in order to set up our traction control. So let's first dive in here and take a look at setting up our actual speed sensor real quick. It should be pretty straightforward. Everything should work. Again, it should be looking at digital 2. That's the location it showed on the PDF sheet from Link for the plug and play location for the OEM speed sensor. Let me just go ahead and fire it up real quick. And we're going to go up here into logging, record, and let me just try to drive it real quick here. I'm going to put it in just the drive mode on the dyno. Let's try this. So real quickly, because it's hard to talk over the car, we were building here about, if we stop our logging real quick, we were seeing here about 37 miles per hour when I was driving it pretty consistent. I just guessed at that value here of 300. On the dyno, it's showing about 41 miles per hour. So I'm going to simply just drive it again real quick and then set this calibration value so that they match. That would be the same thing that you would do without a chassis dyno with a GPS device. Say you're driving it off a chassis dyno in real world conditions. Look at the GPS device. Look at your GPS speed. That's a calibrated speed. Adjust your calibration number so it matches the GPS speed. Or you could run it through the Excel spreadsheet and calculate it, but at this point, just easier to do it this way rather than dragging out the spreadsheet. Let's try this again. I don't want to talk over the car. I'm just going to go and adjust it, and you'll see the speed reading on the dyno match what we see here on screen. Once we do that, we know that the calibration is correct for the rear speed. All right, let's try this real quick. Thanks for checking out our teaser clip. If you want to see the rest of this video and more than 500 hours of current EFI training we have to offer, make sure you click right here. If you want to go and check out more teaser clips from this training course, click here, and you don't want to miss any of the videos we're going to be releasing on this channel, so make sure you subscribe and click here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.